How many Emmys have you won for your television work? You know something, you just take it. It's your idea, your show. I'm just a guest here. What do I know?
Welcome to the channel. Today,
I'm Casey White's great-grandfather.
welcome back. Here we are. I am with, you probably know who, Andrew Zimmern, and we are going to compete.
We are going to compete.
We're about
in two different competitions.
Yes. It's the, I don't know, the battle I've been waiting for sure.
Has it been?
We've been manufacturing this this event for quite a couple weeks now. Mm-hmm. We figured out a day with both our busy schedules, and here we are, and it ends here.
It's I'm personally very excited because I actually have friends at my house.
Yes.
This is my home.
Yep.
No, I'm very, very excited about this because we've been landscaping these woods. When I got this house, what's here looked like that forest, but more pine trees. And we actually thinned it out for the health of the trees. And then it took a year and a half to dig out all of the tannic pine needles that have fallen over 45, 50 years since they were planted, and then put soil down and then grow this fescue, which you don't mow. You just let it go to seed and flop over.
So this is what VRP would look like if they planted grass in between the trees?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. If you've ever been to Blue Ribbon Pines, this is like Blue Ribbon Pines in your front yard, and we have
one
dogs.
of the best courses in the nation. And hey, Luca. Luca. You know, that's Luca the Legato, world's worst disc dog.
This is Luca.
He likes to go and flop down on top of it. But it's great because it mimics a lot of the things. So you can place portable baskets around,
cool.
or the pitch and putt device that I have over there.
Let's head over.
And you have to like pick a certain line because unlike a lot of people that I'm fortunate enough to occasionally play with, I'm always off the fairway. Thank you. I've been playing for 27, 28 years. Yep. Not well, and some years only once, but I never have thrown away a disc. I've lost a lot of them, but I've never thrown them away. So there's some vintage pieces that are in here, and the one that's in my hand was actually lying on top of this bag because it was the newest putter that I got.
It's got big germ on it.
Well, he gave it to me. He was over here for dinner the other night.
Nice.
And gave me one of these. So I'm actually gonna pretend.
Maybe that's your new lucky disc. We're gonna go find out.
We are gonna. I've yet to throw it.
All right, let's go.
I've yet to throw it. All right.
We have now cracked into the mystery disc bag, and I can already tell you which one I think I want to grab first. Can I grab it?
Yeah, just take two at a time. All right, I'll take one of those just to make it fun.
What are these called?
Bad.
Okay.
And apologies to whoever made them and sent them to me. And I shouldn't say that. They are very specific. So if you have a massive bag and you have the ability, now this famously is the disc that was thrown into. Well, no, that was a Steady Eddie.
Yeah, a blowfly.
Blowfly.
Yeah. But this is like the modern
up.
era. They're making a whole lineup of discs.
Correct.
Like
so if you want something that needs to die at the pin, you throw this.
What we're going to be doing here is just taking these discs that we just chose. Yep. We've got some spots chosen out. And our board there, the numbers are not representative of what they actually score. So we're just going to do the top two nets are worth 2 points and the bottom is worth 1.
Because it's elevated.
Yep. And we'll just keep you up to date what the score is at.
If I'm not putting well on a given day when I'm playing with my friends, it is not operator error. It must be the disc.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, I view everything as it's the disc's fault, so I need to be able to swap out different putters.
Okay. And that's a wide right to start. Ooh, that one wrapped in.
Well, see, the nice thing about this, kind of like chains, if you
a
get
net.
enough
It's
pH, it'll go
forgiving.
in. But that was a 2-pointer.
That was a 2-pointer.
You've aimed for that twice. You've got a strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blister that 2-pointer.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Nice. That's a 1-pointer. Andrew was just on the phone before we got here, and he told his friend that he was on the phone with that he was about to make me cry. So I'm waiting for it.
Because you're gonna be upset.
Oh.
But that's because the whole rest of the video we're focusing on your disc that went right past it.
Got it.
Yes, you got 2 in. I have 1 in. Yes, it's 4 points to 1 point. Those are my 2 that, you know, God, no. I mean, I don't know how you come back against from that. But anyway, you just throw. You just throw. Worry about the other stuff later. Oh. I'll tell you something. You have a lovely spin putt. It's very nice to watch.
Thank you.
Oh, very nice edge. I would have given that to you.
That's the same spot you got.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a 2-pointer.
Are you yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you saving your?
I am saving this for the
me
last
too.
shot. Yes, I'm saving my
Elevation?
Yeah. Another 2-pointer.
Yeah, I need to change my putt. At 61, you're never too old to change your putt.
This is true. That is a fact right there.
Nope. Oh.
Stiff armed by the net.
This is my KC Pro AVR. All it does is go in.
That's all I got to. This is 150 grams. Is yours 150 grams? All right.
I think it is because I buy them 2 at a time.
You can film
so
this
they're
one.
identical.
This is for Simon. This is a dad putt.
Oh.
All right.
That's actually how I learned to putt.
The dad putt?
Well, the idea was imagine a tire in between you and go
And you had to
through
go-
it and up and go up and down. And it gives you some arm movement
Gotcha.
and some
Yeah.
spatial, you know. This is my new big germ.
Big germ. This one's a
Yep.
big germ.
My Star AVR X3. First time I've thrown it.
Come on.
Oh, but it loves to roll. It loves to roll.
Because it's got a big germ on it.
Okay.
All right, now we're down to our floppies. So.
Oh! Now, in all honesty, how did that feel to you? Have you thrown these before?
Yes, they feel way better at this distance than they do at 100 or 200
Oh, you
feet.
can't. Yeah, I mean,
you can't even
it's
throw,
all
yeah.
over the
I know.
place because
They
the more
fold
arm
in the air.
Yeah, the more arm into them. However, I have taken these out and practiced them, and with no wind, right?
I'm just waiting to see somebody who's sponsored by them.
On a back. On a, you can get it just dies wherever it hits, which is useful. It's very much a specialty disc.
Yes, that's great. Like a tilt.
I'll make my point now. As a casual weekend duffer,
Yes, exactly.
why would you buy a disc that you only use because it floats in water? Why? Why?
If it goes to the water, it's meant to be there. Oh, snuck in a 1-pointer.
Now, interesting, we both made it in with the floppy disk.
We did make it in with the floppy disk. Okay, so the score is 8-2.
That's correct.
And we have doubled the distance essentially.
That is correct.
Right.
You're up 8-2. Corners count for 2. Center bullseye counts for 1.
Oh, too high. Oh.
How'd you like?
That is a beefy disc.
Well, I'm finding my range. I can't jump putt
Okay.
because this is my broken leg
Oh, okay.
that's still healing.
Dang.
See, it's bigger
Yeah, I can
than
see
the
that.
other one.
Yep.
So I usually
Oh, yeah.
give a little bit of that, but
Interesting.
I think we're at distance.
That's why I'm going a little side.
I'm good. No, I know.
Oh, hit the net. Hey, there's a 2-pointer. You know, it's not really like the ching of the chains, but it's still fulfilling.
It's very fulfilling.
Yes.
It's very
It's
fulfilling.
still in there.
The sad thing is, we have the food tasting portion to go, and that's 5 points for
Oh. All right.
strategy.
Interesting.
Strategy. All right. Okay. I'm catching up. I still have 7 discs to go. Oh! You know, one thing about the net versus chains, it hangs for a second.
Yeah.
And makes you think it's going
It's suspenseful.
in. Yep.
Hold in my hand.
Now just kind of wad it up and toss it in?
No.
Okay. Put a rubber band around it and just heave it down there. Interesting. Did you see it turn over?
Yeah,
There's a
I
nice...
thought it started to do that slight bend.
Yeah, no. It was lovely. I mean, you wouldn't think it could even carry like that or have that kind of flight, but what do I want to do with
You want
this?
to knock mine out?
I'm gonna, well, it's the floppy one, so I can't, but I'm gonna try something a little fun. And that didn't work.
It sat and stayed.
All right. This is very important.
Okay.
The final score.
The final score.
Well, of this portion, it's like a decathlon or heptathlon. It's 2 phases.
Yeah, of course.
So you may be mathematically eliminated because you didn't score enough points, because I guarantee you I'm winning the next. Well, we'll see. We don't know that.
We don't know.
We don't know that.
We'll see. Well, we got this piece of art here,
Yeah.
and it looks like it's one or out of only 100.
Yeah. It's a very rare collectible. But the you were asking me about things that I have that are disc golf related, but that aren't discs.
Yes.
And I have a couple that are really, really special to me. This is probably the most. This is I'm originally born in New York City.
I knew that.
And the New Yorker magazine is one of the great magazines in the history. I mean, I'm even going to say literature, because it's done so much for so many years, and it's been published for, I think it's over 100 years. And they always have an incredible cover. They're famous for their covers and the artwork. And this is the only time that a disc has ever been on the cover of the New Yorker.
That's cool.
Which is amazing. And when I learned that, I had to have one, so I contacted the artist, and he was gracious enough to sell me a very limited edition print. But you can see, to me, it's the struggle. It's life. The disc is in the tree. The foot is there. It's caught. 3 meter jokes.
I'm sure that there are plenty of people watching this video who have climbed a tree for a disc.
We all have, right? And the hand just is almost there. And it just, number one, I love it because it's disc art. It's legit. But it's a reminder that you just gotta keep climbing, keep trying, no matter what happens, keep going. And I love what it means. It's also, I like it there because, we look out on woods, so it's very green and lush. Cool. And all the rest of it. Are you up for the food challenge?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're ready.
Okay.
Born ready.
Okay. Everybody always wants to come over here and eat things because they assume I have crazy.
We need a blindfold, right?
Blindfolded? Oh yeah, don't look. I got this. You're a nice young man, honest and trustworthy.
Here's a blindfold for you. Go, perfect.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 pieces of food into Casey's hand. You'll then take the whole thing and put it in your mouth. It will be small enough
Yeah.
that it will be right there, and you can just put it in your mouth and have at it. Nothing is dangerous. You're not allergic to anything, and we're not going to do anything that is a problem, right? This is botarga, which is a salted and dried mullet roe. This one's imported from Italy. It's basically salted fermented fish eggs. This is a salmon skin, that's coated in salted egg yolks. It's from Singapore. And these, number 3, are from Japan. They're called Sancho berries. And they basically make your mouth go numb for quite a while. It's a little bit uncomfortable. All right, so, you ready?
Sure. I'm just taking my hand out.
Yep. I'm just gonna take this first piece. And by the way, I'm going to enjoy this with you.
Okay.
It's just like a little lozenge-sized piece of food. And it's my favorite. Your job is to guess what it is.
That's it. I'm just sending it right now.
Yeah. And I'll give you some hints. First, do you like it?
It's fishy,
Yeah.
salty,
Uh-huh.
weird consistency.
Oh, yeah.
Very strange.
Oh, yeah. Almost like a putrefied jelly bean.
Yeah, it's stuck in my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Very fishy.
Mm-hmm. If you were in southern Italy, you might grate this over pasta.
Really?
Well, you would grate it over pasta.
Yeah. I can see that. I have no idea what that could be, though.
It is, you'll see it at the end, it is called botarga.
Okay.
It's salted and dried mullet roe, but you can make botarga from anything.
So that's like the roe is like the same like lobster?
The eggs.
Okay.
It's the egg sac.
Interesting.
Now, I have tuna eggs prepared the same way. There's some people who do it.
That was actually my
You
guess.
make
was something
botarga out of a lot of different things these days, right? A lot of chefs have taken the botarga idea and launched 1,000 other cool foods from it. I'm opening this up. This is a slightly bigger piece. It's a, you know what, let me see if I can cut this in half. This is one of my favorite snacks in the world. It is arguably one of the hotter, most popular and favorite sort of snack item for chefs. They trade bags of this. In fact, another very famous chef sent me this as a Christmas gift last year because she knows how much I love them. They're from Singapore. Go ahead and you can feel it, so you can feel the boundaries of it, and just put the whole thing in your mouth and enjoy. Now, it says on the bag itself, dangerously addictive. So my first question for you is, do you like it?
I love it. Of course I love it.
It's good, right?
Yeah. And it's like, at first I couldn't figure out if it was like a sweet snack or not, or if it was like a savory, but then I...
Yep, because it starts out sweet and then it gets very savory and a lot of umami flavor.
Okay. That was good.
It was good. Do you have any idea what it was? Do you pick up any flavors in there?
Yeah, the first initial bite I picked up a flavor, but I can't put it on anything.
Okay, it's essentially two components, even though there's lots of ingredients in there. So the chip itself is crispy fried salmon skin.
Oh, interesting.
And the seasoning that's on it is salted fermented egg yolks.
Okay, so I got a very hint of fish, but I thought that it was still from the other one.
Exactly. Well,
where is
and
my
no
drink,
wonder.
by the way.
Oh,
Thank you.
it's open towards you.
We're good now.
You're good now. Are you enjoying this?
Of course.
Of course. Okay.
That first one was very interesting. Like Blindfolded was definitely the way to get me to eat that. And like I am a fishy, like I like fish. I eat sushi. You know,
anchovies.
Sometimes I just prefer the fish, not even the roll. But that was definitely not something I've ever eaten before. All right, my hand is out.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I'm going to put a portion into your mouth.
Okay.
And I want you just to chew it up.
Okay.
Let your, don't swallow too fast because you're going to want to taste
That's what I've been trying to stop myself from doing.
No, you just want to, you're doing a great job because you've identified flavors. I'll tell you, as someone who has been described at times as a professional eater in
Okay.
my career, you're doing really, really well.
Okay, cool.
You're doing better at eating food than I did at putting.
Okay. But I was a 14-year-old kid that liked to cook, so I like MasterChef Junior.
Oh. I thought maybe when you were 14 you'd be watching other shows.
Like Bizarre Foods.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
You're in my house, you're talking about Gordon's show? Good Lord. Gordon, it's okay, he loves you. But I've got him here now, and blindfolded. All right, so there you have a bunch of seeds in your hand. Go ahead, eat them up, and
Just toss them in.
yeah, just toss them in, chew them up.
I taste lemon.
It is, in fact, lemony notes are the primary driver of all this.
Okay. Wow, that's really interesting.
What do you feel happening?
It's like a sensation on my tongue.
Like what?
Like a sour candy almost.
Mm-hmm. Tingly?
Yeah. It's like I got I don't know, a sour lemon head.
Yeah, pretty powerful though.
Yeah, very.
Very powerful. For a
It's
little
good.
seed.
I mean, I really like lemon, so.
It's great. You enjoy it?
Yeah, I do. And you like put this on like chicken or something and fish?
That's exactly what you. It's exactly what you do with it. You can take your blindfold off. This is the last one. These are Japanese sansho berries. Now, if I was a real
They make my eyes water.
if I was a real mean guy, I would have given you the buds of the flower that these are plucked from.
Okay.
Because when you eat that,
Whoa.
your whole face goes numb
I'm feeling
for
it right
10
now.
minutes. Yeah, it will keep growing. I would imagine your mouth is getting a little numb.
Probably the right side.
Yeah, where you chewed it. So you can imagine if you ate the flower bud raw, right? Because the sanshol, which is the active phenol compound, the flavor agent that's inside there, actually tingles. It comes on very lemony and it's very herbaceous. And then all of a sudden, that numbing starts to bloom and it grows.
This is
and
crazy.
It's probably still growing a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
I can feel it down here now.
It goes away in a couple days. I mean, you don't have to worry much. No, I'm just kidding.
My eyes are watering.
It's about 10 minutes.
That's cool.
It is cool, but when lightly toasted and then ground in very, mortar and pestle and sprinkled on something like just as a finishing agent, where you would have as much
Fish
as
or-
you ate ground up on like 2 pieces of fish on the grill, it's amazing because it's just this light, peppery
Do I spit it
thing
out or
where
do I swallow it?
Oh no! Oh, are you still holding
Yeah.
it in your mouth?
Yeah.
Well, I would swallow it. It's not going to do anything below your epiglottis.
I was
because
wondering.
you have nothing to, and there's nothing harmful in it. It's not like a chili where it's going to burn or you're going to feel numb going down because those parts of your body don't taste that
That's
way.
what I was gonna
But
ask.
holding them in your mouth is actually worse. I thought you had
No,
heard
I'm
the
like-
part where I said eat them.
I'm like, this is.
You're holding it in your mouth
Yeah.
like chewing tobacco?
Yeah. Was that the
Well,
extreme?
that's new.
Was that the extreme version?
Yes.
I didn't know if I was supposed to swallow it or not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All safe to eat.
So I got the full experience. I'm like,
Yeah, but it's amazing what happens as that blooms in your mouth.
My question is, what made you pick these for me to guess?
Because they're unusual enough that I thought it would be interesting. You said you liked interesting food and that you were adventurous and that you were fearless.
Yep.
But I didn't want to pick. I have other things in the cabinet that would be, for my friends that are way too cocky and I don't mind hurting them.
Okay, fair enough.
Or putting something in their mouth that's so horrific and foul, like surstrumming. I have a can of surstrumming in the house, which is a fish that's so spoiled it literally poison. Its gases are so strong the can expands. And even Swedes, I've been at the Swedish embassy in Washington D.C. and when they open a can of surströmming, 90% of the staff, Swedes, goes to the other side of the outdoor area where the party is because they don't even want to be around it. It's horrific. And I could put one of those little babies in your mouth, but I wouldn't do that to you.
I knew that I was gonna get fish because that's like your specialty.
Well, I cook with a lot of
Yeah,
seafood,
but
you know, it's like, and
but like
I
even
love
the seasoning
these.
you gave me, this is something that you would cook with
Yes,
fish.
and I love these, right? But I have 2 or 3 different types of botarga in there.
crazy.
I have a mullet, I have tuna, and I have
guess-
a compressed salmon one that a chef friend of mine made and sent me. But you grate it.
That's
over
what
pasta.
I just wouldn't expect something that looks
it's
like
so
this to
delicious.
be that consistency. Like I said, it's like cheese.
Yeah. Now the funny thing is that you do typically grate it over pasta, but I eat it plain.
I can tell,
Mostly
you
because I
just
just
did.
love it. I adore it. Or just 4 or 5 slices and have them with a piece of
It's
bread.
like candy that tastes like fish.
That is exactly right. 1,000.
It's a jelly bean candy.
Yes.
But it's a giant jelly bean.
Where did you get this love of food?
I don't know. I love everything kind of.
Really?
I just do things and get into it. And I don't know. That's all I can say.
Is this your approach to life in general?
Yes, and I was actually going to talk to you a little bit about that.
Yeah, fire
because
away.
I've obviously, if you haven't checked it out, Brian Earhart has one of the best disc golf podcasts on the market, The Flight Diary. You were on it last summer.
I was.
I listened to it last summer, but I had to give myself a quick refresher. So you're from New York.
Yep.
So you were born in '61.
Correct.
That's the same age as my dad.
And I am now 61.
Yes.
So it's like a
yes,
golden
yes.
year for me.
Yes, it is. And so my buddy, old Greg, he lives in New Hampshire, same thing. He's one of my best friends back home.
Yep.
But he's the same age as my dad. He's 61.
Yep.
And
Do you call him Old Greg to his
I
face?
call him Old Greg, yes.
Fantastic.
Because we have 2 Gregs in our disc golf club.
Oh, exactly.
He's Old Greg.
He's Old Greg.
And he grew up on Long Beach, parasailing. Tons of parasailing. I was wondering if you ever got into that. I know you did the fishing and the digging for clams and stuff.
I
but-
have.
Okay.
I have. Parasailing is a blast.
I just think that how much time you said you spent on the beach as a kid and how much time he said he spent parasailing, you guys probably ran into each other at some point. I mean,
Well, here's the interesting thing. I never did it as a young person.
gotcha.
I never saw it as being popular, but I am one of those people that I'm, despite looks to the contrary, I am an up for anything.
But you were always fishing.
person, and I'm always on the water. I'm
Gotcha.
obsessed with the water.
Cool.
And so, yes, I have tried it. We even went up into the mountains over Medellin, Colombia, which is like some places in Austria and other European countries that have alpine ranges. There's a 3-sided valley in Medellin,
Okay.
where there's a very hot lowland that gradually gains altitude, and it comes up to the top of a mountain, but then there's mountains on the side. So up at the top of the central mountain, you can jump off, and the thermals in the summer are unbelievable. Hot, sometimes 100-degree air
Oh, really?
coming off the plains comes up the hill, and so you can just like pop right up, sometimes extremely fast, unsettlingly
Really?
fast. And so the air sports there are incredible. I strapped myself to a giant pair of wings.
I've never done
and
anything
jumped
like
off
that.
a mountain.
I mean, I've never even been on like a motorcycle or anything.
Oh, you would love. And I encourage everyone to do it. Just make sure you do it with a safe provider.
Exactly.
You don't want to do it with a guy who's like, smoking
Yeah.
heaters and there's a pile of crushed Bud Lights.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the guy to introduce you to parasailing. But, with the right equipment and stuff and the right coaching where they teach you, you just scream as you're running, because it's unnatural to run off a mountain, essentially a cliff.
Yeah.
Where everything is really small below you. It's a 5,000-foot
Yeah.
hill. And then you go down, and then you pop up, and you take your first couple times
Yeah.
with someone to sort of teach you
Okay.
how to do it.
What about the little windsurfing as well?
I've done that,
Okay.
but I suck at it.
Okay. See, old Greg's really good at that.
But it's I mean, you got to put in your time. And here's
Yeah.
a friend of mine who does a lot of kiteboarding and stuff said to me, you need to try it again, because the equipment that I learned on in the 80s apparently weighed 700 pounds. He says the same gear now is like 40 pounds.
That's kind of what I say to people with disc golf.
So the
Like, they think
nightmare
that
was
it's-
having to pull
Yeah.
up this giant sail, because the actual architecture.
So
People
that-
think it's the water in the sail. It's not. You can shake that out, and it's just a wet sail. But the pull was like, it
Okay.
took all your strength to pull this thing
I mean,
up. Apparently now it's like made of this. It's
That's like
just-
somebody buying their first disc on their own. So I actually wanted to bring this up. So I'm pretty sure you're the only person I've ever heard of that bought your first disc at a gas station.
That's correct.
I don't know of anybody else that bought their first
But that
disc
was
at a
the,
gas
here's
station.
the reason why.
Because the Frisbee was in at that point, right?
Well, the gas station owner was very smart.
Okay.
So over in St. Paul, there's a small, I think now it's either a 12 or a 16 hole. It's a weird number. It used to be a 9 hole.
Okay.
And it's in the public park there. And you can only access it by going down one street. It has a public golf course on one side, disc golf course on the other. And at the top of the road, you have to drive by it. Have to
Gotcha.
access the road. Is a local gas station brand. Not a at the time it was not a chain.
Okay.
And they had a wall of Innova discs.
Yep.
And so when my friends took me for the very first time to play, my buddy John, who took me to play, who taught me the sport, I still play with him every weekend. He's my
Cool.
He's
Awesome.
part of my regular group of 6 or 8.
I wasn't sure if it was him or the other guy. What was the other guy? Clark?
Well, Clark was my best friend back home who got me
In New York.
we got into the disc sports around it. You simply won't go out there. You won't last long because you'll just get frustrated. Discs go in the water. You're searching in the brambles for 25 minutes, and you come out all ripped up and all the rest of it. And it's a complete pain.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
So a lot of people who I've taken out have loved it the first 20 times, and then eventually they just fade away and they stop playing. But the people who keep going and become regular weekend players or right up to pros have a certain approach to life that I think is
It's the
absolutely
refillable
fantastic.
glass.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I actually want to add to this because like basically my general look at life is just like what I do on the course isn't deciding of how I wake up feeling about myself as a person. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like there's always another day and I
Correct.
can improve.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Yeah. I mean, you're years away from your prime.
I
in
would
the
hope
sport.
so. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I
no,
hope
I
so.
mean,
Yeah.
you are.
So I actually think I'm gonna piss you off with my
Why?
secret sauce
Really?
because you said
In my own home.
You said you have to keep score. My hobby,
Yes.
my life, and my profession is
Yep.
all throwing a frisbee.
Yes.
So when I clock in and I'm at the Disc Golf Pro Tour event, I'm practicing for the
Yes.
tournament or I'm competing.
Yes.
I'm having a great time.
Yes.
But I'm having a great time because the moments I spend not locked in, not clocking in, preparing for this tournament,
Mm-hmm.
I'm throwing a frisbee. I'm not disc golfing. I'm trying to throw it in. I'm
Yeah.
trying to ace. Every
Right.
single course I play that I'm not preparing for a tournament, the only thing I want to do is ace because that is the
Right.
that's the
it.
freedom.
Yep.
And I love it. I love to go to courses.
So what
and
did you mean about not keeping score?
you said that you have to keep score. And I
About what?
just like competition. You said that you're a competitor and you like what you said
I
about
like anything where you keep score because I'm very competitive.
Yes, exactly.
I'm attracted to that. I want to compete at everything. I really, I really will. I will play. There's nothing better to me than going on a car ride with a buddy for like 5-6 hours, a road trip somewhere.
Yeah.
Each person gets a stack of 100 singles, and you bet on everything as you're driving. Over the course of 5 minutes. I love that kind of
Okay,
stuff.
for
right?
sure. I'm on a lot of road trips.
However, from a how to manage to me, that's having fun.
Yes.
What I try not to do in life is keep score in the sense of comparing me to that guy over there,
Yep.
that lady over there, that person. That kind of personal scorekeeping, whether it's around things, possessions,
Yeah.
how they look on the outside to how I feel on the outside, is dangerous, and I never do it. For fun, do I like it? Yeah. I mean, some people like to go and toss around the steel at the gym. I would much rather play horse
Okay.
with whomever.
Yeah.
I'll play horse with a pro basketball player.
Yeah.
Right? I had no illusions that I was going to beat you when we were putting up there.
But
right?
you were banking on the food competition for the
Oh, I
big
was
comeback.
kidding around about that. I knew that. I mean, look, I knew what all three of these were. You're blindfolded, and I knew there's no way that he guessed.
What was the
them.
final score, by
There's
the way?
no score. 10-2.
It wasn't 10-2. You got 5 points for each.
No, I was kidding about that. There's no points. There's no points here. This was for free and for fun. But the fact of the matter is that I have enough self-esteem in my life, right? in other things that I do, how I just show up as a dad, as an employer, as an employee, as a friend. I have a lot of different relationships with people in my life, as an acquaintance, as a neighbor, whatever. I'm okay enough with myself that I can show up anywhere and lose to anyone and do anything.
Yeah.
I get asked to do a lot of sort of like amateur. This goes back to my James Conrad thing. You know, they say, okay, you want to play in this pro-am, right? Last year, down at Ben,
Yes, in
Askren's place.
Milwaukee.
And I knew I was the worst player there.
Okay.
And I probably said yes faster than anyone else.
Great. That's the way it should be.
And went out and just did my best.
On film, everything.
Because it's who cares? And like people were saying like, but what if, but right? And some of the other amateurs there are very good disc golf players. Very, very good.
I know. I played with
some of them have PDGA numbers in play. Casey plays.
Yeah.
You know, and he's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps being a professional athlete in another sport. Dylan Cease.
Yeah, I played with Dylan.
Dylan has gotten better and better and better because if you're one of the handful of best pitchers in all of Major League Baseball, he should have gotten the ASG nod. I'm very upset at.
We don't want to talk about that.
We don't want to talk about that.
We don't
But
get into
when
that.
your friend isn't
That's for another
chosen
video.
for the All-Star game, I take it as a personal affront.
When they're having a good season.
He's having a great season. But he's also getting better and better and better as a disc golfer, right? And it's because, and he's young, right? So there is a correlation between look and throw something into a spot. So I'm just going to guess if you're a professional pitcher at a very high level in the top,
you're going to figure out how to throw a disc in a basket.
Figure it out pretty darn fast. It's amazing to me that some of my friends were like, how are you going to show up? I'm like, well, you're invested in how you're going to, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going out there to enjoy myself, and I'm a fun guy to play with. And I mention it every time because I can never repay the debt. James Conrad is a very, very classy guy. Super classy
Probably
guy. And incredibly kind and incredibly gracious. And not about ego at all. So he had just won Worlds.
Yes.
Okay? And we go down to this thing. And after the first round, where we're in foursomes, everyone is seated based on your score, individual scores, and you draw, the pros all drew a name. And he draws me. So I'm like, pinch me. I'm playing with this year's world champ, right? And I'm like, hey, and he's great, right? It was very funny. He has a lot of hair. I have no hair. You know, it was lovely. And off we go to play. So the last 9 holes of the tournament. By the way, after the first half of competition as a team, we are in the middle.
Yes,
We're in the middle.
I was watching.
It was, you know, whatever.
It was like
11
8
teams or whatever. We're number 5
Yeah.
or 6, right? So it's like, okay. I mean, it's no big, no harm in finishing in the middle. I'm pretty proud of myself at that point. The last 18 holes, the last 9 of which was alternate shots.
Yeah.
Okay. And I realized I've never played 72 holes. And my mistake was going full out because I got in my ego. I'm around everyone. Dusk is settling. And everyone's just like, let's all play the course, just 20 of us, and just feel it out and everything. And it was so much fun. It was probably the best round of fun golf I've ever had because all the pros were just trying crazy shots, and it was just fun. But I'm trying harder than I thought. So 18. The last 9 of 72 holes in a 36-hour period, I can't lift my arm.
Yeah.
I can't lift my arm. So James walks up to me at one point. He's like, just throw it 100 feet straight. You know, just grab your putter and throw it 100 feet straight down the thing, and that's your shot. And I'm like, okay, good advice. And I grab my putter. It's, you know, off into outer space. I threw one that actually it just stayed in my hand and went behind me.
Yeah.
And he was so kind and so gracious. We wound up finishing last, right? So in my head, I'm like, the world champ's name, the reigning world champ, man, coming in last, right? Having nothing to do with him. By the way, from where I threw it behind me, he's throwing it 600
Yeah,
feet.
of course. He's doing James
straight
Conrad
down.
stuff.
He's doing James Conrad stuff. I managed to make it within 80 feet of the basket, and he's throwing it in. And that's the only reason that we, while finishing last, had a respectable score. But I learned so much from him during those last 9 holes, because sometimes when I'm at my job, I'm the James. I look around the room and I'm the one who's been cooking his whole life. I'm the guy who's won the awards. I'm the guy that's had the career that everyone and I'm looking there and I learned from him a debt that I can't repay. That's how you behave. He came up and thanked me afterwards for playing with him, right? How gracious is that? Those are the life lessons that you can only learn when you're in an environment that's competitive. It's why I like competing.
Gotcha.
Because when it's done the right way, it's why I like the hockey playoffs.
I love
because they
playoffs.
shake. Well, first of all, it's the best playoffs.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Course.
I mean, but in pro sports. But doesn't mean individual games or certain World Series matchups haven't been great. Don't write me letters. It's just overall
NHL playoffs
playoffs, it's unbelievable.
They're gonna deliver.
But at the end of the series, sometimes very violent series.
They all shake hands.
They line up and shake hands, and they're hugging each. I mean, it's just. I mean, I watch for those moments because I'm like, that's how you got to approach.
I'm actually bringing on the trend of taking the hat off at the end of the round to shake
and
the
then
hat.
shaking hands.
Yeah,
Absolutely, got to bring that on.
Yeah, I am bringing.
You got to bring that on. Line up. Everyone should line up.
We're not lining up, but it's hard because right now we're still in kind of the era where people just tap out on 18 and just go. Where we still need to, kind of collect.
Yes,
but we're working on that.
It's
the more hats that get taken out and hands
that's exactly
that get
right.
Then it becomes like
that's exactly right.
Expected.
That's exactly right. And I will tell you, as a fan, and I've had the opportunity to walk, the course with lead card on Sundays, and again,
it's a good time.
Pinch me, and I've been not only have I watched people be up all round on Sunday only to lose on 17 and 18, but I've been walking with them.
Yeah.
When they are up through the first 16 and lose on 17 and 18. And someone gets to have their, oh my God, I just came back feeling, and three other people jump and someone else. And it's very, very different. It's like tennis. They shake hands, but that person who lost shakes hands like this and walks away.
Yeah.
Hockey, for whatever reason, they manage to just kind of stay there.
Respect.
Some people, it is. And I also think, to your point, it's the age of this. I mean, they've been doing this for 140 years or something like that, And so, and I think disc golf, because of the people involved, will figure out a way. But I get the tap out.
I was just about to say that. I just think in general concept, maybe this is a good ending point. That we, as the people that we are in the right sport. We're playing disc golf with the right people.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Someday you got to meet my goofball friends and come play around.
I absolutely
with us. We're not good, but we're the most fun. We really are most fun.
I bet I would love it.
Do you play a thing where if you throw a disc, and you are not allowed to do it intentionally, like within, C2, but if you throw a disc and it lands and covers someone's disc, they have to carry your bag for the rest of the round?
No, you owe them a beer.
Owe them a beer?
Yes,
that's a leaner.
The upside down.
No, that's a leaner. If you throw it and it leans against the pole,
really?
Yes, or sits on top of the basket, you're buying everyone dinner.
Interesting.
But if you cover someone's disc, they're carrying your bag.
Okay. I mean, if you want
it's a good one. It's a good one. I just think it's fun.
Yeah,
to make your friend carry your bag.
It depends on what region of the country or world you're from playing disc golf. Everybody has their own little
thing.
Yeah, it's like when you play doubles league, the singles guy. What do you call him? Some people call him Cali. In northern Minnesota, they call him Wild Man. Never heard of that. I know him as Cali.
Yeah.
But I actually want to ask you.
Yeah.
What top 3 courses in Minnesota? What are your favorites? Not the best. Favorite.
Favorites. Well, BRP.
Okay, good choice.
Right.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And this is not in any order. My what I consider, whenever it says what's your home course, it's Bryant
BRP.
Lake Park.
Oh,
BLP.
Bryant Lake.
Yeah.
Bryant
Well,
Lake.
you know, Blue Ribbon Pines, if I lived closer to it, but it's 90 minutes away.
Yeah, we just played Bryant Lake a couple weeks ago.
Bryant Lake is
a great course.
Fantastic
I mean,
course.
I played it 3 years ago, but it was just as good as I remembered.
Oh, I love it. I just absolutely adore it.
Third one?
And for a third one, I have like 8 courses tied for third because, I mean, amazing course in Shakopee, in White Bear, the North course, so many great ones. But one that may surprise people is a local course, small. Everything's basically a par 3 called Red Oak.
Oh, I just played it. I just played it with Alex Geisinger and Trevin.
It's a darling of a little
9
course.
hole, 2 tee pads.
10 holes.
Oh, 10 holes actually.
2
10
tee
holes,
pads.
2
So
tee
you
pads.
play 20.
Yep.
And it is.
It's in Burnsville.
Yes, and it is. It's so appealing. The layout is so fun.
Okay.
It requires. It's one of those older 10-hole courses. 20 if you play from the second set of boxes. Again, which we do. That does require you to play a lot of different shots.
Yeah, it's fun.
On a small course. It's fun.
You get to throw every disc in your bag type of course.
Exactly. It is absolutely
Those
a
are the best kind of courses.
blast.
And that's what I was just about to say. How often do you make it to northern Minnesota?
Not very often at all.
If you're ever up there, Judson Mine is
I've heard.
my favorite course in Minnesota.
I've heard.
I played north to south, east to west, all over Minnesota, and Judson Mine's the best course.
I really have, and I didn't realize it was so late, and I do have to go. But the get in your car and play, like, I need to check out one year and just drive around the world and go to the courses. My bucket list of courses that I need just keeps growing.
Too big. Yeah.
It's too big. However, I am at that stage in my life where I have honestly thought to myself, I can just take off like 4 or 5 months, and I don't need to technically drive everywhere. I could do it region, like fly to a region, drive around, knock a few, drive to a region, fly.
You can do that in New England
do a
in
few.
one weekend.
You know, because if I wait too long, I'm not going to be at the stage where I am enjoying the sport the same way.
Yeah,
the same way.
Gotcha.
So I'd like to do that.
I think that sounds like a very worthy trip.
Then I could write that Peter Mayle style, book, like A Year in Provence, like My Year in My Car.
Okay, yeah.
Like, what did I learn?
Cool.
I'll let you know when I'm doing it.
Sweet.
You
All
can
right,
meet
sounds
me
good.
somewhere and we'll play around.
Yeah, it sounds great. Massachusetts. You gotta play Maple Hill. You played it?
I have not.
All right. Well, there we go.
This is the problem. Right. And I even bring. I have a little 6-disc bag that I bring when I travel in case I ever have any time.
Yeah.
But the problem
is, I'm sure it's pretty rare.
7 in the morning till 10 at night shooting.
Yeah.
You're just. But sometimes you get. This year I actually have a couple off days where I'm in town, so I have 3 trips already planned for shooting season 3 of Family Dinner. At least, where I am bringing my bag, where I will search out whatever local course there is, and I'm praying that I'm in a part of the country. We're going to be in North Carolina shooting, and I'm praying that we find a third family there, so we have a break day, because the crew needs a break day. Cool. We can't do 3 episodes in a row. If the crew has a down day, that means I have a down day. Potentially I have 2 down days, so I can rent a car and
play as many courses as you can.
I can get in 3 courses in 2 days.
Sweet.
And just check it out. And North Carolina has some
good
incredible
courses.
So,
all right, last closing statement.
Yeah.
This one's a good one.
Yep.
Top 3 restaurants to eat in Minneapolis.
Oh my God. That's a very unfair question, because it's like me asking you, who are your 3 favorite players on tour? Because you're going to offend more people than you're going to make happy. And because people look to me for these kinds of things, I'm always willing to talk about another city rather than my hometown.
Oh, okay.
However, I do have a list of 20, 30 restaurants that I go to.
Nice.
And it's on my Substack, it's on andrewzimmern.com, so if I forget some,
go check it out.
But I'm going to talk, I love what Ann Kim cooks. I'm a big fan of Suki and Mimi and Young Joni and Hello Pizza and all that kind of stuff. Alex Roberts at Alma is an incredible chef. What Yi Vang is doing with Hmong food, I love it, and I love both his Union Hmong kitchen and his Vinay pop-up, and hopefully Vinay opens soon. But Hmong Village and Hmong Village Market over in St. Paul is incredible. We're so lucky to have that food and that culture and those people here in our town cooking. I think Gavin Kayson's restaurants are the best in town. So Spoon and Stable, Demi, and Mara. Show me who's doing a better job.
You can't go wrong, yeah.
Stephen Brown is the chef who I wrote 20 years ago. Could be the guy that could cook me my last meal.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's that. I like his food, and I like his palate, and I like the way he puts food together as much as anyone. And he had Tilia and St. Genevieve and a bunch of restaurants around here. Anna Ahmet and her team that she has Lat 41 and Kaluna, absolutely fantastic. My God. I had takeout from Shuang Chang last night.
Okay.
I love Chinese food.
Sweet.
And Shuang Chang is, my local place that I love to go get Chinese food.
Are you big on you can't judge a book by its cover when it comes to food?
I'm a big you don't judge a book by its cover and everything.
So like I had a hibachi food truck last night and it was fantastic.
Of course it is.
Yes. And
Because oftentimes the best food in a place is in a food truck.
Exactly.
I just flew. Where was I this weekend? I was away for a day trip. I was in Bozeman, Montana.
Cool.
So I went there for a day trip, and as I'm driving to my hotel, my driver says to me, "You know what the best place to eat in town is?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "That food truck." And he said, "We got great Mexican food in this town, but that place is the best." And they're staying with a food truck because they don't want to. Anything else would muck it up, and they figured it out. And so I took a car that night, went to the food truck.
Try for yourself.
It was on fire. It was insane.
Yeah.
And you never. We talked before about compare despair. The minute that I practice contempt prior to investigation, that is antithetical to every spiritual principle that I can think of. It's like looking at someone and saying, "Well, they can't do something." Well, how do you know?
Yeah.
How
for
do
sure,
you
for
know?
Sure.
Right? I'll use my disc golf comparison. Everyone thinks that you have to be built like a brick shithouse to throw a disc a far distance.
That's very true.
It's not true. It comes in all shapes and sizes. And like many other things, it turns out the mechanics of it, a lot of it is length, right? And it's all form,
of course,
and softer, slower. As you're learning those things, there are people who do it with huge run-ups, James Conrad.
Yeah, I do the same.
And then there are people who take 2 steps but have so much torque in their arm, it's scary to me.
Have you ever seen Corey Ellis throw a disc?
Yes.
Lethal.
Of course. So you can't judge anything. The minute you start playing those kind of games, you are cheating yourself out of the best things in life because it's you do not know. You do not know. So yeah, I love a lot of this is a great eating town. It's fantastic. A lot of great places.
I've spent many months.
Did you ever go to Quang Deli? We just had lunch from them the other day at the office. I love it. It's a Vietnamese restaurant.
I kind of travel year round and whatnot. Yeah. My home base is Massachusetts, but if I do have a home base away from home, it's absolutely Minnesota. Yeah. So I have spent more time here than normal. Yeah. But I think that I don't know. I feel like we talked about a whole lot of stuff.
It's good.
And that was pretty good.
All right. I love it.
Thanks for feeding me Blindfolded. No. That is going to do it for today's video. This thing's probably worth 2 videos, maybe 3. But Andrew,
or just one really good one.
It's going to be the best video.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me and us.
No, I'm thrilled that you were here.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of the pads.
Okay.
When we're
going to throw from here
because you will actually throw. We clear out a couple of trees and we put a basket that way, and then you make your way down the pond.
Do you have a name in mind for what your course would be called?
No, I haven't.
We'll figure that out.
Aromatic prawn explosion.
I have no idea
One of
what
my
that
favorite dishes from one of my favorite Chinese restaurants in 1974 in New York City. That was the dish I would order all the time.
All right.
It's a memorable thing. I don't know if it's
sounds-
a good name for a disc golf course, but
It's
it's definitely
authentic.
memorable.
The only thing that matters about a disc golf is authentic. There's only one Oak Grove
Correct.
in the world.
Correct.
But there are a million Oak Grove disc golf courses in the world.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
That
But
is
there's only
correct.
one.
That's right.
So
That's right.
authenticity.
By the way, that was that's the course symbol that was on that mini when I said I can't remember
Oak Grove.
what it is. Yes.
Gotcha.
The first.
Cool.
Yes.
Nice. Well, as always, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and check out Bizarre Foods if you have never seen Bizarre Foods.
Well, now hold on a second. AndrewZimmern.com.
Okay.
All your information is there. Family dinner on Magnolia. I know you watch that every week.
Sure.
Of course you do. Wild Game Kitchen on Outdoor Channel.
Yeah.
I know you watch that
Yeah.
every week.
Yep.
Iron Chef.
I have cable.
Iron Chef on Netflix. You watch me on that every week.
Every week.
Okay.
My alarm is about to go off.
Okay. Because it's time. I'm hysterical.
All right, that's it. Good night.